Hey, you out there. Want some coaching commentary? Want some co-hosts who actually are authentic and real? You can tell that they actually have some type of chemistry going on.
Hey, clout chasing. That's cool. I actually got something in mind for you. So keep listening. You'll find out.
This is Touchdowns and Tangents, your weekly spot for NFL takes, cultural insights, tangents, and context for the coaches.
What's up, good people?
Hey, that shit was hard. Can we be honest? That was kind of hard.
Live from Hawthorne, California, it's Touchdowns and Tangents, TDs_tangents on Twitter and Instagram. I am PD Camarillo, and he is
Kenneth Bartholomew James Frank Berry.
our producer. Nikki has a night off. She's in Texas, and yeah, we just had a shit show of technical difficulties. Shout out to Zoom for totally crashing my computer. The Zoom update totally messed everything up. And
I blame Zoom updates and strip club politics.
But now things seem to be working all right. I mean, we're late, but what's new? It's a regular day for us. Besides that, hopefully we can make this a quick and easy show. No stripper pun intended.
That one kind of fell flat. Worse than the Supreme Court's decision making. But hey, whatever.
Are you talking about the affirmative action?
No, because we live in California, and literally you and I have never been affected by affirmative action in our lives because it's literally fucking was voted down before we were born. Like, no idea what affirmative action is. It has no impact on my life. Because every job I got, I earned it, and I didn't get it just because I was black or just because you were Latino. We actually had to fucking do a bunch of shit to get there, only to realize, oh, we're
I think
we could have had this job 3 years earlier.
Universities have affirmative action.
Yeah, but that's bullshit because it mostly goes to the foreign immigrant kids. So, like, an African kid, an Indian kid, white people who are somehow... White people from other countries really classify themselves as immigrants and minorities, and that pisses me off. And white women get most of the affirmative action. And, like, gay white men. At least that was what it was in the 90s and the 2000s. But it's mostly white women. They're the only people who really benefited. And shout out to the Asian community for, like, trying to scapegoat black people as if, like, it's our fault affirmative action got passed because we damn sure weren't the beneficiaries of it. And statistics show that. So, yeah, keep blaming Tyrone because he got a higher GPA than he's a better person to go around. And even though you probably came from a country where your whole fucking village cheated just to get a perfect score on a test, and you have the personality of literally a severed penis in the swamp.
Wow. That's wild.
Yeah. That's why I was, everybody thinks grades are the shit. I'm like, you know what? Nobody talks about all those white people and Asian families who got busted for cheating in California. We didn't forget. But y'all over here
Let's talk about it.
blaming black people for affirmative action when we don't even benefit from the shit. That's wild to me. But hey, whatever.
Moving on to football. Somber note to start off the show. Shout out to Ryan Mallett, RIP. Former Arkansas, Texans, and Patriots quarterback.
He transferred from Michigan to Arkansas and was one of the best life choices ever.
He was currently a high school coach out in Florida.
On vacation.
Right?
On vacation in Arkansas. He was on vacation in Florida and drowned in Florida, but he was coaching high school football in Arkansas. Played for the Patriots, Ravens, and I want to say Texans.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, RIP to him.
There's a lot of cats like Brandon Bull. Like, there's a lot of cats on Twitter who, like, they grew up with him. Like Will Middlebrooks, who's a MLB player. He grew up with him. It's really sad when you see stuff like that. He was only 35.
Yeah, crazy. Other news, Deion Sanders recovering from a blood clot procedure.
He had in his groin.
Place to get a blood clot.
And it was like around his leg. I think it's forming around it in his legs, different parts, and they were afraid like he might have to lose the foot, but thankfully that's not the case. So it'll be interesting if he shows up for Pac-12 Media Day next month.
Yep. NBA news. Wembanyama was the number one pick.
He's officially 7'3.5".
I don't know what you were showing me.
I'll screenshot it and send it to you.
The Chargers against Davante Adams were dropped. The whole when he bumped into Kansas City Chiefs
Freelance
photographer, intern, camera person, whatever. The Chargers were dropped. I don't know how they went this far, 7 months, but I digress.
Wanted a payday. And not the peanuts, but he was salty.
Leonard Fournette, former Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Jacksonville Jaguars running back, was in
Patriots. I know he didn't play for the Patriots. I take that back.
He was in an SUV that caught on fire while he was driving. Says he's okay. So that's good news. Hopefully he can find a deal, but it's tough out here for running backs.
Tell me about it.
And yeah, there's a bunch of other news in the NBA. If you haven't heard, rumors are James Harden's coming to LA to play with the Clippers.
Oh, God.
Which should be pretty wild.
I don't want this.
John Collins got traded for no damn reason to the Utah Jazz. I don't know how these other teams didn't give up an expiring contract to get John Collins. But
I don't think they expected him to go for that little.
Yeah. Well, I mean, his play's kind of been declining, but Atlanta also had like a bunch of other athletic 4s and 3s. So,
speaking of people out of a job, LA journalism is wild right now. Cats getting furloughed and cut left and right. One chick at the LA Times went on break and then came back. She went to break to go to school and then came back, and she's going to pretty much be fired like in 2 weeks.
Yep.
It's crazy times.
Like that. That's the climate that we're in. Well, it's college football.
Damn, that was quick.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Get to this in 45.
And I really want some chicken flautas and avocado. So the Texas A&M athletic director refuses to follow an NCAA policy on NIL limits due to state law. So here's the thing. The NCAA has no fucking power, okay? They're, in some aspects, people might say a criminal organization that kind of like how churches shouldn't be fucking tax-free, especially these mega churches. These mega churches, they should be paying their fair share. The NCAA really has no reason to exist in the functionality that it does, and that it's destroyed people's careers. It's taken advantage of, labor from athletes. It's racked in billions of dollars in revenue. And things still aren't really fair. And NIL, one might say is like the perfect example of capitalism in America, the free market economy, which you're supposed to allow. All these kids getting money, all these athletes getting money and funds, and pretty much can create generational wealth for themselves while playing. And the NCAA is like, no, you got to abide by our rules, or you can't, do it. You can't pretty much take part in things. And the athletes are like, well, you really don't have the power because we'll just become content creators and become cults of personality and make a fuck ton of money, and then you can't do anything about that now, can you? And who needs a punk-ass college degree? It's not like it's really helping most millennials anyway, or Gen Zs. Let's just keep that a bean. But good luck. Good for you if you got a college degree. So the issue with this is Texas has a lot of, some might say, draconian laws about NIL. And it's kind of really repressive. That's why a lot of high school kids literally leave the state. That's why Quinn Ewers went to Texas. He foregoed his senior year of high school to be at Texas and then transfer to Ohio State because NIL, certain NIL laws were banning him from getting certain money and things. So that's why he left. Or he went to Ohio State and transferred to Texas, my bad. But he played football in Texas, high school football, and, there's just certain things the NCAA won't allow, so you pretty much your eligibility will be ruined before you can get to college. So Katz is moving out of Texas just for that. Even though, let's be honest, Texas high school football makes millions of dollars every year. Like some Texas high school football stadiums are like 100,000, damn near on the level of SoFi, and it's just a high school football stadium. So there's that. West Virginia lost 3 players to the transfer portal after disgraced head coach Bob Huggins pretty much resigned. Josh Eilert, I think that's how you say his name. He's the interim coach. University of South Florida Board of Trustees approved a $340 million on-campus stadium that will be done by 2026. It's going to be about 35,000 seats, and it's probably going to surpass anything the Miami Hurricanes are doing. The NCAA proposed to cut the transfer portal window from 60 days to 30 days, pretty much a reaction to Deion Sanders getting a bunch of 4- and 5-star recruits in the portal the way he has, and he's overturned like 50 players off the roster from last year. So, yeah, there's that. That's it for college football.
All right. Look at this. Rolling right through it.
Look at this.
Let's go touchdown or turnover. All right, first up, the Bills extend McDermott and Beane through 2027. Another 4-year extension for the Bills head coach and offensive coordinator or defensive coordinator? What's Beane?
He's the GM. Brandon
GM.
Beane.
There you go. Touchdown or turnover?
Touchdown. You got to keep the brain trust intact.
I'm going to say it's a turnover because they're going to have to really start earning that money with Josh Allen making all that money. Vaughn's getting older. Stephon Diggs is disgruntled, apparently. Their running back situation is still a hodgepodge. Their lineman has been up and down. So they're going to have to earn that money now. All right. Dolphins throwing hat for Dalvin Cook. Is that new?
I mean, he turned down some visits to some places, but just buying his time.
Well, I guess that's a touchdown.
And veterans don't like going through training camp if they don't have to.
The Pats re-signed Davante Parker on a 3-year, $33 million deal. Touchdown or turnover?
Patriots fans over there are hurt.
The funny thing is the reports came out that this is not going to impact whether or not DeAndre Hopkins comes. But my first thought is, are you really going to have 2
possession receivers?
Yeah.
Even though Davante Parker has speed.
Yeah, I mean, DeAndre Hopkins has speed too, somewhat. He can still catch a contested ball.
Yeah, but like Davante Parker came out of college running in the 4.4s.
I mean,
that's what I'm saying.
Hop isn't slow though. You won't tell him with his face.
He got game speed, but he ain't gonna test a sub 4.5. He ran a 4.58 at the combine. Like, he's not a burner. That's never been his game. But like, Parker gets downfield and makes contested catches. Like, they're similar receivers, but they're different.
Yeah, I get that. I'm just saying, like, they lost their speed guys too last year. So we'll see.
We shall see.
Kelce accepts being underpaid in exchange for production. Quote, I love winning. Touchdown or turnover?
I mean, obviously it's a touchdown.
I'm going to say it's a turnover because how often do we have this debate about tight ends, specifically receiving tight ends, being underpaid? Some point, someone got to stand up and get the money for the whole position.
I mean, he even admits that he's underpaid.
The only person who did it was Jimmy Graham, and that didn't turn out so well.
He said, bro, you use me like a wide receiver, so pay me like a wide receiver. You're a tight end. I had 16 touchdown catches. How many tight ends doing that? Gronk.
And nobody the same after that.
And nobody else. Also, like, he was in Seattle, and that was a bad fit. They didn't really use him in Green Bay. Like, places where, like, Baltimore, like, places where he should have went, where they would actually throw him the ball, he didn't go. Sometimes you got to take the money.
Bulls agreed to a 3-year extension for Vucevic.
Nikolai Vucevic?
Yep. I like how easily and fast he said that.
Because I was a big fan of him when he was coming out of college. And I was hoping at one point the Lakers would snag him because he's a good quality big man. But they in Chicago because Chicago's just going to pay everybody and still not win anything. Poor LaMelo Ball. I feel bad for him and his
You mean Lonzo?
I mean, yeah, Lonzo.
Yeah, I said Lonzo's not even going to play this year.
It's really sad. It's very sad.
I'm gonna say it's a touchdown because that's actually good value for him. However, I don't really know what that Bulls team is gonna do because 2 years ago they looked like a contender. Last year they kind of fell to the middle of the pack. They had some injuries. It's a bunch of LA ties on that team, but half of them have been hurt. And in general, I don't know how well they all just mesh together. So I think someone from that team is going to get traded, whether it's Levine, Lonzo, DeRozan, and maybe even Vucevic.
No,
after the January date.
From the Lakers, I'm really trying to get LA cat.
Levine?
Yeah. They should have been trying to get Zach Levine years ago.
Yeah.
Nah, he's an athletic
He's
scorer.
making a lot of money, though.
Doesn't matter. He's athletic.
It doesn't matter. He's making a lot of money, bro. He's making like 30-some million.
And honestly, he's put up great numbers. They're just not winning.
I don't even think he was that good last year.
Yeah, but I mean, he did. Pretty much, he played good enough to prove that he's not a bust and he can be a high-level type player.
25 points, 4 assists, 4 rebounds, 38% from three-point and 48% from the field. It's not bad, and it's pretty much in par with what he did.
That's all-star numbers.
And last year, he actually played more games than he has his entire career. So
that's all-star numbers. If you put that on the Lakers, it's better than what AD. It's better than what AD's been doing.
You're a fucking idiot, bro.
I know. I'm just being a scumbag.
Yeah, you're an idiot, bro.
I don't actually believe
Laker
that.
Fans.
I'm joking, obviously.
It sucks because it's like AD is like literally gonna have to go somewhere else and win a championship for him to finally get love and respect from Lakers fans.
No, I respect AD. He's just injury prone as fuck.
I mean, I've been saying that, but yeah.
And when he said I didn't touch a basketball all offseason, I was like, that's why you'll never be one of the greats. That's why we can't respect you.
All right, the NFLPA named a new executive director, Howell. I don't know much about him. But
Lloyd Howell, yeah.
Touchdown or turnover.
Takes over for Morris Smith. Which is crazy to think that dude's been the executive director my whole life practically.
Really? No, what happened to Gene Upshaw?
Oh, shit. Well, what, 12 years?
Yeah, like
My
12
adult
years.
life. Adult life, it's been DeMaurice Smith. When he did that episode on the pivot, it's like, damn, he opened up a little bit more.
Yeah, I feel like, I remember when he got appointed. It seems like not that long ago.
He took a lot of heat, too. And then you come and find out, like, oh, okay. There was more to it.
All right. The Titans offensive tackle Nicholas Pettit-Ferrer gets 6-game suspension for gambling on a team facility. Isaiah Rodgers and those dudes from the Colts are expected to get a season suspension for
They all
their
got released,
gambling activities. Oh, they got released?
They all got released. Rashad Berry. I forget the third dude's name.
But yeah, touchdown or turnover. These big suspensions.
Hey, man, they mean it. Don't bet on your team and
Or
don't
at team
bet
facility.
at the team facility, which is what those guys did.
Yeah, I agree. You gotta. It was always gonna be someone was gonna have to be the first blood to spill, and fortunately, these guys fucked around and they found out.
Yep.
So hopefully, whatever money they got will get them through whatever pay cut they're gonna have to take. But yeah, if I'm them, I'll probably look at the XFL and USFL and figure it out. At least you can still play.
They might not want to touch you though.
Come on.
Plus, the season's about to be over. NFL championship this weekend.
I mean, next year.
That's a long ass time to have no income.
I guess fan control football league or arena football league.
They ain't paying shit. Antonio Brown over here fucking up the bag for getting sued by a team that he owns.
All right, take your tangent. LSU's Kelly. College athletics in jeopardy. Need federal help with NIL. I don't know what that means.
Pretty much, they want to pump more money in NIL, and the NCAA is pretty much like in danger of going away. That's what he's pretty much saying. But he benefits off all the recruits and all the shit he's doing at LSU.
Oh, Brian Kelly said that. Okay, I got it.
Yeah, so when Brian Kelly says it, you're like, this is self-serving.
Definitely, yeah.
So I'm just going to tune you out because you and Saban are both full of shit on this one, but, you know.
It's funny how, like, because the power's been turned on the SEC, now they're just trying to protect their dominance in their institution. Which is what's happening.
It's like, oh, well, I guess we are going to promote NIL to promote my athletes so I can stay employed as long as possible.
But I guess that's somewhat of the point, right? Of just like letting it be open is that like players were able to move freely and talent was able to go to where it went to.
The free market.
Exactly. And so now these guys are hating on it.
And guess what?
They want regulation.
The free market
they're both in the South. Crazy.
And the free market is volatile, just like the stock market.
Imagine
but
this.
I'm pretty sure Brian Kelly and Nick Saban have amazing stock portfolios.
Imagine the great states of Alabama or Louisiana calling for federal regulation for anything, let alone college athletics. Like, that's fucking wild.
Damn sure didn't call it for Katrina.
Or anything else. That's crazy.
Mike picked that up. That's how loud that was. My mouth was open, dog. You sick fuck. This man over here farting on the podcast.
Okay, Gunner. You are a snapback one day and you just out here snitching now? That's what we're doing?
First off, everyone heard it.
Nobody heard it.
No, it was heard. It was heard, and now we're not impressed anymore. Kind of like Young Thug's album. Nobody's really impressed anymore.
I liked it. It was cool. It was solid.
Okay, bro. That shit was shot. That shit was stripped down. He couldn't say what he really wanted to say. Or that little baby was out there dissing Gunna and shit. Didn't know about 21 Savage though. Didn't he kill your brother?
Qatar Sovereign Wealth Fund boys. Sovereign Wealth Fund buy stake in Washington's NBA, WNBA, and NHL teams.
Oh shit! If Qatar out here putting money behind the WNBA, that's hella gross.
Now, I think
that's gross.
Well, what it is it's the Monumental Sports Group. They own all those teams, the Capitals, the Wizards. What is it? The Mystics. What's the WNBA team?
The Washington Mystics. Yeah,
and yeah, those three teams are all owned by the same organization.
That Middle East money is different.
So it's just ironic that of all
the Lakers
places,
beat the Supersonics.
No, it's ironic that all the places for them to buy stake into a sports team, they happen to be doing it in the nation's capital.
I mean, that's where all the money is. It's the smartest place to do it. Invest in things that people think you would be opposed to.
No,
like, women in sports.
I don't think it's that. I think it's more of like
buy, share the market.
It's more of
smart.
You can get 3 for the cost of 1.
Exactly.
And it's also kind of like low-hanging fruit in terms of like 2 of those 3 teams ain't really doing much. I mean, the Capitals, I think, are solid. They still have Ovechkin, I think, right?
They won a Stanley Cup.
Not that recently. Long ago, like what, 3, 4, 5 years ago?
He won the big one, bottom line.
So out of those 3 teams, the Capitals are definitely the top gem. But yeah, so it's low hanging fruit, low profile, but high profile at the same time. It's actually it's a good overall win strategy. I see what they're doing. All right, Melvin Gordon says running back is the worst position in the NFL right now. No shit. Take your tangent, Kenny.
Yeah, honestly, I'd rather be a fullback. Shit, at least they'll throw you some passes.
I think
at least they won't try to restructure your contract.
I think Miles Sanders pretty much said a similar thing. Just that he doesn't know what's going to really reset the market, and basically every running back at this point is underpaid.
Shout out to Adrian Peterson, who's the only running back to make $100 million.
Well, the thing is,
top 5 running back all time.
When you talk about like impact on the field, like besides the quarterback, the running back is the most obvious choice.
The sacrificial lamb.
Because they can get the ball out of the backfield, they can catch it, they have to block. They do a lot. Like per yard, they probably are the most underpaid for sure.
They get the most touches out of anybody.
I mean, even Josh Jacobs, I mean, I saw a graphic where he's like top 10 in yards from scrimmage for running backs his age. And like, he's on a list with like all straight Hall of Famers, and he can't even get 10 million.
11 million. 10.9.
Well, Davante Parker, a 2-time Pro Bowler, just got 3 years, 33 million to potentially be their number 2 receiver.
Jacoby Myers gets paid more than Josh Jacobs does.
Yep. And he's their number 3 receiver. So yeah, that's wild.
Pain. Just senses pain.
All right. Cam Robinson popped with 4 games officially for PED violation. Take your tangent.
Yeah. I actually wrote this headline out at work months ago when it happened. So
what's crazy is Cam Robinson looks like he's like 42, bro.
Using Alabama left tackle who was actually good.
He looks like a Dominican high school baseball player, like, bruh.
Wow.
And he's really only like 28, right?
Multiple ACLs, tears. But, yeah. And they pretty much drafted his replacement.
All right. The NFLPA is partnering with Black Men Vote to encourage black men to vote. Take or tangent.
I think it's kind of the least of our problems.
Some people would say that's the start of the problems.
No, lack of... Well, first off, you would need political representation, and all our politicians sell us the fuck out. So that's one thing. But also,
I mean, you're not wrong, but
what's the point of having politicians if they sell you out?
It starts with participation, though.
The politicians don't do what the people say. The politicians get paid off.
But if you don't participate in the process, you can't hold those people accountable.
Joe Biden won the most votes in presidential history. What are you saying? Black people voted.
I don't know what your point is.
Black people have consistently come out and vote the better part of the past 25 years.
That's not.
They voted against Bush.
That's not statistically.
They voted
true.
for Obama. They voted
That's
for Clinton.
That's not statistically true, though. You're talking about who they voted. But
Black people have come out to vote.
You're talking about who they voted for.
Asians historically don't vote at all.
Kenny, listen.
Like that.
Kenny, listen.
I am
just
listening.
listen. You're not. You're talking. You can't talk and listen, sir. This is talking about voting in general. It's not talking about voting for a specific party or a specific person. You're talking about winning a vote. You're talking about getting votes for a specific person. This is just overall increasing black man participation in the voting process.
That's cool.
And so what I'm saying is, I'm not disagreeing with what you're saying. What I'm saying is the only thing you could do about it is to participate in the system and hold those people accountable. Like, don't bitch about your senators selling you out if you haven't voted in a fucking midterm in however long.
I voted in every election since
and
I was 18.
The same Senate, you're fucking lying.
Yeah, I'm really
Kenny, you've literally been on air saying you didn't vote. So try again, Kenny.
Locally, I vote.
Kenny.
I didn't vote in the national election.
Okay.
Because Biden and Trump.
You just said I voted in every election. So again.
Okay, fine. I voted in all the local elections that affect me directly. Does that make you feel better?
They all affect you directly.
National, well, it wouldn't have mattered nationally. Let's be honest.
Yes, it does, bro.
Did you vote? You voted for Hillary, right?
No, I voted for Andrew Yang.
The fuck? Obviously. You baited and switched at the last second?
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah, that's... Well, no, my point is you can get all the people you want to register to vote, but if they see the party has no distinction or direction of where they're going and they're not listening to the people, then the people who can vote are just going to say, fuck it, I'm not going to vote. So it's like, my issue is the lobbyists. So how about we get more people who are voting to become lobbyists?
Okay.
That would be a better step. Because you can get everybody and their mother registered to vote, but if you have voting laws and fucking racist-ass poll taxes that are still going on in the South, then that's voter suppression, and what's the point? Do some shit that'll actually do some good.
That's what
make people lobbyists.
That's what
get people into those rooms.
That's what advocating people voting for is to fight against that exact intimidation.
But lobbyists,
that you're talking about.
Lobbyists work against voters. What I'm saying. So why don't you empower people who are already voting to become lobbyists and form grassroots super PACs?
I mean, that's fine, but it doesn't have to be or. It can be both. You could do both.
Yeah, but they're not interested.
And you can't really do a.
They're not a super PAC, but some kind of a political PAC, a grassroots
super PAC. That's called a crowd fund. A la all the fucking 18 Democratic candidates who didn't make it.
Don't get me started on all that.
But I'm just saying, like,
Cornel West running for president is wild. Cornel West running for president is wild.
You literally just admit that an organic super PAC. That's just called a regular campaign. Like, that's literally just called a regular campaign.
Well, rich people call it throwing away money.
Oh, done.
Poor people putting all their nickels together.
Grassroots. That's what this is.
Yeah, that's an oxymoron. I can't believe I just said that.
That shit was funny. All right. Fair fade.
Shit, that should be a fade.
LSU claps Florida to win the College World Series.
I think they beat them like 18-4 or some shit. They beat a bunch of SEC schools.
Baseball, man. But I saw the Angels clap someone 23-0. That's wild.
Ohtani's just going to get traded for nothing. No, I'm not even going to trade him. Like, fucking Angels, man. Then the pitcher for the somebody said, so to compare, the pitcher for the Yankees hitting a fucking perfect game against they're really a AAA team, honestly. The fucking Oakland A's is the equivalent of Miles. Oh, fuck, what's that dude's name? Not Peterson. Miles Bridges scoring 101 points to beat Will Chamberlain's scoring record. That shit was fucked up. I was like, you compared that pitcher to Miles Bridges and said that pitcher in particular throwing a perfect game is the equivalent of Miles Bridges scoring 101 points and breaking the NBA scoring record. I'm like, that's sick.
All right. Next up, Joe Burrow in an Instagram post called himself Joey De La Cruz after the Reds' red hot rookie. And then instantly, Spider Mitchell called him out saying, you didn't even hit any out of the park. So fair or fade?
Wait, Joe Burrow said that?
Yeah. Because he was at batting practice, at Reds batting practice. I guess Donovan Mitchell was there too. So fair or fade getting called out by another professional athlete.
Donovan Mitchell plays for the Cleveland Cavaliers.
That neither of y'all play.
First off, Donovan Mitchell got drafted to Utah and then traded to Cleveland and plays for the Cleveland Cavaliers. Nobody gives a fuck what he says.
He's from Ohio, though.
Don't matter. So is Joe Burrow. And Joey got the swagger. Let's be honest. We know it. Like,
I mean, Spider does too.
Let's be honest. This country hypes up and gasses up non-problematic white boys who have the swagger of a black man more than they do actual black men.
I mean, yeah.
So,
what's news about that?
that's what I'm saying. Like, he's not gonna win this argument.
Oh, okay.
Even if he didn't hit out the park, like, they're gonna pick the white dude with the swagger of a black guy.
All right.
Every time.
I think the other thing, too, is...
Even some black women.
I think the other thing is you're also just going to assume Joe Burrow's probably better at baseball, even though
Spider
that's not true.
I mean...
Like, we have the connotation that baseball is a white sport, even though, like, the best players of all time are black.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there's that. All right.
And LSU has just been real. He's probably... LSU is saucy. Like, the gymnastics team almost won a national championship.
That's what happens when you hire Brian Kelly.
Olivia Dunn taking the world by storm as a gymnast. Little tiny ass petite white girl. I mean, what do you expect?
All right, Travis Kelce bites at the chance. Wait. Oh, okay. Travis Kelce bites at Chase after comments regarding Patrick Mahomes. Don't you ever disrespect my quarterback. Fair or fade?
I mean, what else is he supposed to say? Honestly, the real fade...
I thought it was going to be the Raiders one. That's why I was jumping to.
The real fade should be when he said that 50 to 80% of NFL players smoke weed. Why are you snitching? White boy Rick?
How about when he said he loves seeing the Raiders because he knows he's about to get 200 and multiple touchdowns?
I mean, at that point, yeah, he owns them.
Or how about when they asked him how many beers was in his cart and he said a plethora and also shouted out a seltzer brand he's sponsored by.
Jason Kelce chugged that beer and looked like he was about to throw his soul up out his body.
Too damn old, bro. Too many injuries to be doing that.
He chugged that beer, it felt like it hit everything on the way down.
Jeff Saturday jokes are funny until you hear a retired senator who just lost 50 pounds. Kelce will probably do that in the next year or so.
Amazing beard.
All right, Kenny.
Leader.
Look at us. What are we, 30 minutes in, 40 minutes in? All right. Yeah, 40 minutes in. I told you 45 minutes, all right? Let's get to the rants.
I'm fucking hungry. Like, I left the hospital. Monthly checkup. But nah, I'm excited for what's to come with Vegas.
Even though we were supposed to have a guest today, we got stood up.
Guest smashed. This has never been a guest-driven show, so.
This guy is really going to take my line, but okay.
Yeah, I did. I definitely stole your line. And said it better than you. That's the fucked up part. I mean, yeah, it happens. It's just, you do it to me more than I do it to you. But when I do it to you, it's like, right, I gaslight the fuck out of you.
Disregard me.
I was about to say something, but that's fucked up. That's just mean. Yeah, man. Been a quiet week. Moving along, trudging along. Just get through stuff. Can't wait to get my hair cut and go to my chiropractor tomorrow. Because my lineup, my hair, shit, I just need a haircut, bottom line. And something I want to touch on, man. I don't know when it started. I gotta say, like, we don't really clap it up enough for strip club food. Like, for real, for real. Like, we really need to give strip club chicken strips a standing ovation.
There's probably some con man in there who's Michelin trained, who's trying to work his way back to get his life back.
Probably. Like, honestly, for me, when it comes to, like, strip club chicken strips, right?
Fuck, we should write that movie.
We could.
That'd be a great-ass movie.
I would star in it.
Convict chef works to get his life back. Started out at a strip club.
Easy. Let's not reveal the whole idea. Let's write the script out first. But yeah. So here's the thing. You look at like places like Denny's, maybe the Kettle, when they were 24 hours. I don't know if they still are. Norms, places that have been open 24 hours. Let's be real. Their chicken strips is like the lifeblood of their overnight menu. Why? People who come from strip clubs or come from wherever, late at night, drunk, high, whatever, they want to get something greasy, something on their stomach, some starch, sober up. What's the one place you can do that and see some titties? A strip club. So I want y'all to really like appreciate and stand for the dishwashers and the cooks at strip clubs who ask no questions and just hold that shit down with their amazing, sometimes and relatively priced chicken strips with the fries. I'm not really a ranch person. Do what you want. Have at it. I find it utterly repulsive and disgusting. I hate mayonnaise and ranch. They're disgusting. But I gotta say, the popularity of strip club food really helped the overnight crowds, and it really gives you a reason to be open that late. So, like, we really need to like respect strip club menus because it's a legitimate business, man. Some people, like Joe Bud said, you can only go to the strip club for the food. And sometimes I've only gone to the strip club because I was really hungry. And I know the chicken strips there are going to be better at Jack in the Box. So, salute to strip club food. It's a pioneer in the late night in the late night restaurant game. And we need to put more respect on its name. So when you're at a Denny's or whatever late at night and you're eating your food, remember the cook back there probably also works at a strip club on Saturday nights.
All right. So I'm not gonna lie, that was probably your best produced rant of all time. And probably your least relevant. So double-edged sword. No one asked you for the boards. God damn it. This is my time. Anyways, I don't have a lot to say. It's been a long week for me. I just had a big launch with Nanoleaf. Shit was crazy. Nanoleaf.me, they just launched this cool, basically, camera that mirrors your TV to all your lights. There's different levels, so if you want to go full, like, color changing your whole room because you're playing a game, or if you just want, like, a little light change when you're watching a drama, it's got that. Syncs with all the Nanoleaf products, so if you got a lot, it's pretty sick, honestly. So I've just been working on that. It's been wild, long week. Other than that, man, just trying to set myself up again. I feel like now I'm coming into a year at my job, and I've been doing really well at it, and I really like the people that I work with. I like the stuff that I'm working on. And now I just feel like I'm finally getting into my rhythm, and I'm starting to like really do the things that I want to do. But also with that, I think part of my balance has always been like also doing things for this podcast, doing things for myself. So I feel like I'm starting to set some of that stuff up again, and I'm excited for that. So hopefully there's more coming on that. And then obviously, you know, Kenny's continued to kill it. So that's been great as well. Nikki's been killing it with the rundown, so that's great. Yeah, that's it. We're just going to keep building. Maybe have some fun along the way. Sometimes weeks are long and you take a lot of L's, but sometimes you just got to keep moving and celebrate the wins you did make. All right, man. Well, this is Touchdowns and Tangents. TDs_tangents on Twitter and Instagram. Touchdownstangents.com. Thursday nights, 8-ish every night. Sorry we were late. Shout out to Zoom. Shout out to my computer.
And remember,
buy us a coffee.
I heard this from a comedian. You literally can't, actually a friend of mine said it, you literally can't say the word titties without smiling. So whenever you're having a bad day, just look in the mirror. Male or female.
Peace.
Just say titties.